You may have heard that the upcoming Rey movie has been delayed, or you could have heard that it's actually been cancelled. Then again, you might have read that the film's pre-production is going fine. And please don't ask any questions, nothing to see here, move along, move along.
Move along. Move along.
In this video, we're going to address exactly what's going on with the Daisy Ridley Star Wars film, getting to the source of these recent rumours and whether they have any validity or not. And if the Rey film, like many Disney Star Wars projects before it, is destined for the Sarlacc pit, never to make it to the theatre. So first, it might be useful to give context as to why these rumours have been circulating, and why on face value they seem completely predictable and unsurprising. We'll address the rumour directly in a few minutes' time, but if you want to skip ahead, there are time codes in the description. We are all aware that countless Star Wars films have been cancelled, rewritten, or indefinitely shelved since Disney bought Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy became president. To name just a few of these, Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadrons, D.B. Wise and David Benioff's Star Wars trilogy, Taika Waititi's solo film, and Rian Johnson's trilogy. So Lucasfilm can blame no one but themselves that whenever there's rumours surrounding the production of a Star Wars film and potential delays or cancellation, no one is really surprised. This is to such an extent that it really would be a genuine shock if any of the current slate of Star Wars films actually get produced. Now the Rey movie, currently titled Star Wars New Jedi Order, which is set 15 years after the triumphant Rise of Skywalker, was announced at Star Wars Celebration in April 2023, with Daisy Ridley making a surprise appearance as Kennedy, and director of the film Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy welcomed her to the stage.
Thank you, Kathy, Sharmeen, for having me back. I'm very thrilled to be continuing this journey.
A few months before Star Wars Celebration, Damon Lindelof, who is known for working closely with J.J. Abrams on Star Wars, Watchmen and Lost, was fired by Lucasfilm, after turning in a badly received script for the Rey film. Lindelof was replaced by Stephen Knight as a writer for the Rey movie, and Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy was named the film's director. The latter has brought her fair share of controversy, and has only added to the feeling that the Rey movie is 1. A half-baked idea that Lucasfilm aren't exactly prioritising, and 2. The reality that the film has a huge uphill battle to win hardcore Star Wars fans round. Amongst other things, Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy is deemed to be severely lacking the experience necessary to helm a Star Wars film, with her filmography up to now being almost exclusively documentaries focusing on the struggles of Pakistani women and directing 2 episodes of Ms. Marvel. There's also been a clip of her saying that she enjoys making men feel uncomfortable, which went down rather poorly with male and female fans of the galaxy far, far away.
I like to make men uncomfortable. I enjoy making men uncomfortable.
Now it's perhaps worth putting in context that she said this in 2015 during a Women's World Summit event. So yes, it's another case of the Twitter mob clipping something said years ago and putting it out of context. And I'm certainly not a fan of this tactic, as context is important and people can change over time. But nonetheless, it is a rather stupid thing to say, which has only exacerbated fans' lack of goodwill towards her and the film. This history, I think, should be taken into account when talking about the recent rumours about the film's cancellation, as many, myself included, think that even besides this drama since the film's announcement, it's a terrible idea to make a film following on from the sequel trilogy. So the news of the Mandalorian and Grogu film replacing New Jedi Order, whether true or not, people will want it to be true, as many dislike Rey's character as she epitomises the Mary Sue archetype, and the movie has become somewhat symbolic of the Disney Kathleen Kennedy era of Star Wars, where activist, inexperienced directors, quantity over quality, and muddled planning come before expertise, respecting the legacy of Star Wars, and having a worthwhile, overarching story to tell. So let's get into the rumour that the Rey film is cancelled. Now where does it stem from, and does it have any validity? It all stems from an article published a few days ago from World of Real, which states that the New Jedi Order has been delayed. Here's a quote from the article. "I've been told that Disney has delayed the film indefinitely, which is why they surprised everyone last week and decided to announce The Mandalorian and Grogu as the next Star Wars movie. They just don't have the confidence that New Jedi Order will be happening in the near future. The problem seems to reside in creative differences between screenwriter Stephen Knight and Lucasfilm. I'm told that a draft had originally been written for the film, but Lucasfilm gave him so many notes that he had to start from scratch. Now, does this sound like something Lucasfilm would do? Absolutely. Don't forget that Stephen Knight is a replacement writer after they already fired Damon Lindelof from writing the initial screenplay. The article goes on further to say that, to make matters worse, there is a possibility that Knight might not be staying on board the project. His frustrations have grown, so he's put Star Wars on the back burner, and is now focused on the screenplay for his Peaky Blinders movie, which is supposed to go into production in the fall. Since the World of Real article, there have been counterclaims attempting to disprove this rumour. Gizmodo, a more established and bigger media company with friendly relations with Lucasfilm, contacted the company regarding this rumour, and published an article saying the following. Well, that's not true. According to Lucasfilm, a source at the company told IO9 the report is inaccurate, and Knight continues to write and be a part of the process. In fact, the company is waiting on his latest draft as you read this. IO9, by the way, being a sub-blog of Gizmodo. They also go on to say, now you can certainly understand the confusion. Last week's announcement of the previously unannounced The Mandalorian and Grogu as the next Star Wars movie threw a wrench in everyone's assumptions that the Rey Next Jedi Order film would be the next one out. However, that news merely shifted things around, and as has been demonstrated with this film and its numerous writers over the past few years, the company seemed to just want to take its time and make sure it gets everything right. As a Gizmodo article refers to, the recently announced Mandalorian and Grogu film for some seemed to be replacing New Jedi Order, which was originally scheduled to be the next Star Wars film when it was announced at Star Wars Celebration last year. The news around the Mando film from the official StarWars.com website says the following. Directed by Jon Favreau and produced by Favreau, Kathleen Kennedy and Dave Filoni, The Mandalorian and Grogu will go into production in 2024. Now if you read the bottom of the announcement from StarWars.com, it says, The Mandalorian and Grogu will lead Lucasfilm's ongoing feature development slate, including films helmed by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, James Mangold and Dave Filoni. So the official line from Star Wars is that the Mando and Grogu movie will not be replacing Obaid-Chinoy's Rey film, it's just coming out before. Which in turn does actually confirm a delay for New Jedi Order's initially proposed release date, which was 2025, then moved to 2026, and most likely now moved to 2027 or further. That is unless Lucasfilm planned to produce 2 Star Wars movies at the same time. Which, as foolish as it might seem, it would fit Disney Star Wars' confusing approach to making Star Wars films, producing none for 5 years since The Rise of Skywalker, and then 2 at the same time. So summarising the rumour and counter-rumour about the Rey film, essentially we have one anonymous source saying New Jedi Order is delayed indefinitely, and another Lucasfilm-friendly source saying production is going swimmingly. So anyone who tells you that the movie is definitely cancelled is most likely doing so because they dislike and are disappointed in the current state of Disney Star Wars, and want the Rey movie to fail. Anyone saying it's not cancelled and there are no problems whatsoever with the Rey film are probably doing so because they dislike the people who dislike Disney Star Wars, and they want them to be wrong. Now what do I think about the Rey movie? Will it get delayed, cancelled, or somehow survive the landmine that is Lucasfilm pre-production? Well, from its initial announcement in April 2023, I've always believed that there's about a 25% chance that it'll actually get made. If you look at all the announced Star Wars film projects, more have been cancelled than actually produced. Then if you look at the complete antipathy, mixed with real anger for the Rey movie, it's blatantly obvious, to me at least, that there is no chance the film will be a success. And why would Disney plough $200 million plus into a project that has more chance of damaging the Star Wars brand than improving it? Furthermore, the lead character is Rey, who most people don't care about or are confused by, whether she's a nobody, a Skywalker, or a Palpatine clone offspring. It's going to be directed by an outspoken and out-of-depth director, and after 2 years of multiple drafts by Damon Lindelof and Stephen Knight, the movie is still barely in its pre-production stage. It seems to me that the creative process for the Rey movie has gone stale. and something shinier and with more widespread appeal, the Mando and Baby Yoda film, has jumped ahead and taken its place in the release schedule. So in the cold light of day, away from the headlines and various legitimate or illegitimate anonymous sources, these rumours only confirm what most of us already know. Lucasfilm is a mess, and there is only one person who really wants the film to make it to theatres, and that's Kathleen Kennedy. And for better or worse, the direction of Star Wars and the stories the franchise will tell in the near future are up to her. She certainly made it no secret that she wants a female director to direct a Star Wars film, and she's also made it no secret that she loves Rey. And in a sense, Rey is Kennedy's version of Luke or Anakin Skywalker, as she is a character that Kennedy has pinned the sequels on. So whether the film gets made or not, I believe that it simply comes down to whether Kennedy is still in charge of Lucasfilm over the next few years. And if she is, then I'd say there's a moderate to good chance that new Jedi Order will get made. If she is fired or retires from her role over the next few years, and someone new takes her place as president of Lucasfilm, then there's very little chance of the movie getting made. I mean, who in their right mind would want to start off their new presidency as head of Lucasfilm by releasing a film that's been embroiled in controversy and division from day one? So in answer to the question, has a Rey film been cancelled? No, not yet. Has it been delayed? Most definitely. Now I'd like to know, what do you think? Would you like to see this movie? Do you think it will get made? Or will it join a long list of Star Wars films that have died in their pre-production stage? If you enjoyed this video, then perhaps consider subscribing to the channel. I release videos every week on the best films and shows around. Thank you for watching, and see you again.